Hello everyone, it's Debbie from Australia and I'm here today with my April 2025 cross stitch update. I'm hoping take 10 is the one. April for me was a good month, but I did have 10 consecutive days off in April between the Easter break and Anzac Day, which falls on the 25th of April in Australia and New Zealand. So that gave me 10 days straight that I could merrily just stitch. So I managed 29,915 stitches. I did stitch more on fewer projects, so this video shouldn't be very long. Whoop, you don't need that one yet. My finish for this month is Dreaming Girl Miss Claus from Barbara Anna Designs. There she is. She was started on the 27th of May 2025 on 32 count Azure blue and finished on the 26th of April 2025. All that grey in her hair, I had to pull it all out because it was the wrong colour. I was not impressed, but it was a lot of unpulling from the start. I think I mentioned that in the February video, telling you that I had a few mishaps and miscounts, but once I actually got the colour fixed and her on track, we were better off. Before and after, in fact, all of that grey you can see had to come out, because I used the darker grey instead of the lighter grey, and it would have made a difference in the long run. So not only did I had to unpull all that, I had to then redo it, but they are very enjoyable stitching. And her against the finished project. I really enjoyed that. The fabric, the 32 count Azure blue, was kindly gifted to me from the lovely Margaret down in Victoria, who I met online and later met up at First Vic Stitches, where I did the Dreaming Girl with the red hair, and then again stitching on the border again, a Victorian retreat this last year, and that's when I started this one. I am calling another another finish. I will show you the photo. I finished the frame for the Avery frame for the latest Lola cross stitch. So absolutely gorgeous. Sorry, I haven't got my secondary keyboard up yet. Now, I have not taken this one off the Q snap because I had to do this video because the first part of the fill-in arrived on the weekend and I hadn't done my video, so I'm going to have to lift my game. So there it is, the detailing in that framework. She is such a clever designer. Have always liked her designs. I did actually have this started on lighter fabric, but my son, who has adopted the other Lola Crow projects, preferred the darker fabric, so I restarted it on the darker fabric. This was started on the 5th of April. I think I finished it while I was on the leave component, because I like to get the challenges. Sorry, that is done on Steeley Nights from number 12 Stitch Co. I do like to forgot what I was going to say now, so it doesn't really matter, I suppose. I've got them all on my lap today. Don't ask me why. This one is different to the others because it is on it's actually going to be portrait, not landscape like the others, but it should go very nicely with the other two, and hence the fabric, so they all sort of blend together, so they look good. Okay, next very big, excited one on this. Stitch in Time, Super Size, From Heaven and Earth, artwork by Aimee Stewart. I'm doing this 1/1 on 32 count. And I finished the big first section I was working on, which I had tried to work up to there. The edge of this book. There. But if I had the colour on my needle, I would work into the next section. So my next section ends here, but that crosses is to remind me to damn well unpull that long strand of black and move it up 2 blocks. But that is the edge of my next section. So as you can see, I have already had a good start on that. The books are coming up lovely. Look at the little puppy sitting here beside her. Absolutely beautiful. I'm so excited that I got that part done. I am currently at 31% on that project. There is, of course, a lot more to do, but when you see before and after, this is where a lot of my stitches went. I think I managed nearly 8,000 stitches on this one, because once I looked like I was getting close, I had to keep going. So you can see at the before, there's only bits and pieces of that next section, but as I filled in those little ninja stitches, I was able to move across and fill in bits and pieces, because if the thread's on the needle, I'm going to use it. And you can see on the far edge, you can almost make out the shape of the umbrella that's waiting to be done. So the next section is technically pretty close to where the after photo ends, and that's the one I'll be focusing on, and hopefully I will get that done quickly, because I really want to get Azure done this year at least. And this is where I'm up to against the finished area of the same portion. So you can see the umbrella sitting in there, and I am very pleased. Now, next, and there's not many to show you from now on. Next, I worked on At the Met by Mirabilia. This is my 2-part project. This is where, oh, look at that, it's not coming out. You will see it on the before and after pictures. It is really washing out. It is green, and like I said, the photos are spot on to the colour. This is the green one. You can't see the green stitching. That's also green stitching in there, but you will when all the rest of it and the outlining is done on that sash. As you can see, there is stitching either side of the sash, so the green will pop once the rest of that work is done. This is on 32 count Dazzle. It is Wexford linen, which just means it is an even weave linen. There's no slubs. And this was started on the 24th of February 24. And this is my blue version. This is closer to, actually I think it is brighter than it actually is. This is absolutely the same place. I work on one and then I do the other, so they're running concurrently. I started it on the blue, denied about the green. My mum found the green fabric she thought was gorgeous, so now the blue's mine and the green's hers. So I'm doing them concurrently to make sure I don't do one and then never get around to doing the other. Again, this one was actually started on the 27th of the 1st, 24, and it is on 32 count Stella from Picture This Plus. Go there. Before and after, and The after, well, that is basically the colour of the fabric. It is very, very bright viva green. Then we've got before and after the blue. And again, the after is closer to the actual colour of the fabric. It's funny how same camera. Yet again, they show up different all the time. And this is currently where I'm up to against the actual pattern. So I'll finish her dress minus the beads. Then I'll come up with the framework that she has. Though I think the majority of that is beads too, but there is some cross stitching in there. I'll get her to her waist because it's nice and easy to stitch where it is at the moment in the Q snaps. And then I'll swap it over and do the top part, which even though it appears to be less than what I'm working on with the 1/1 skin, it will take a bit longer, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Next is just a photo. B from Lorna, designed by Lorna Lane, charted by Gecko Rouge. This one, 92% in at the end of April. Actually, it may be 92% at the end of May because I've already done some stitching in May on this fellow, and that's why I'm only showing a photo. But as you can see, I'm pretty sure it was last month, all the bottom section from the tip of the lowest wing is all done. The B is totally done, and I'm just filling in that top section, so I've only got 8% to go as at today. So again, very happy that will be a finish soon. The last one I'm showing you, I'm not showing you put a bird on it. It got a lot of stitching as well over April and May. I had forgotten. I thought I had taken a photo so I could at least show you before and after for April, but when I went to download it, I only thought I did. So it'll be an April, May in May. But I finished that big, huge centre. Big, huge. I don't think I've got it handy to show you. There was a massive... No, it's not going to jump out at me, are you? Of course you aren't. No. There's a massive... Nope. I can't even think of the word. Graph section, big item, big... Motif's the word. Big, huge, bigger than my hand motif in the centre. And because I'm using that very highly variegated black, purple, blue, pink thread, I couldn't help myself. So it was like 4 segments identical. So I had to make sure that I had the thread cut so I could start and finish each part the same. So it was all symmetrical, but... You'll see that next month. Last project I have for you today is Little House Needleworks, Little Sheep Virtues. This one. I got the next square done. Where did its little paperwork go? I'm in the bottom section, so there are only 5 to go. And there is Hope. Very simple, very cute, but I think they're going to look really nice together. If I swap over, I showed you the B before and after, so you can see I've just slipped the next one down. So 5 to go. And against the project, I'm not doing it in the same order. I've picked it sort of randomly as I've got them all sorted what order I want them in, but there was no particular order. It was just what I thought of on the actual day. Okay, now that's all my stitching. I did have a couple of purchases. I did get my next lot of threads, Weeks Dye Works, from A Stitch in Time down in Adelaide, the monthly section. This one consists of one of the U's, because I'm close, must be close to a finish on that one as well. And the other 5 are new threads that have appeared during the year. They're either during the year or miss ones. So they just need to be added to my itinerary. I also got off a stash unload, Ivy from Nora Corbett and Holly from Nora Corbett. I've wanted these 2 and I couldn't help myself. They're nice little ones. These ones don't take long at all and they're very sweet when they're finished. Now, I think I mentioned on an earlier video that my local sewing shop, Material Wool, all he sort of had was DMC and some old-fashioned cross-stitch kits, and Aida, I think that was about all cross-stitch wise, was closing down. And I mentioned that I might just make him an offer on any leftover DMC threads. Well, I went in the last day he was open early because I had to be elsewhere for a stitching meetup, and I just made the comment that I felt like giving him an offer for any of the leftover threads. Anyway, he said, well, give me a call on Monday. I gave him a call on the Monday and we had a chat. He started with a price. I said, no, that's too much. He countered with another price. And I said, let me think of it overnight. Already knew the answer was going to be yes. But I did think about it. I did talk to my husband. Anyway, I will show you the picture. It came wrapped in plastic. Well, that's how we got it and put it in the back of my husband's station wagon to get home. Funnily enough, I think we only found one skein of thread on the grass. Hubby found it when he went back to lock up the car. We didn't lose anything else carrying it horizontally to get it into the house. I'm in a Federation house, and a couple of the doors we literally had to again put it on an ankle to get it through the doors, and then once you're into the kitchen, everything's the standard size. The other photo shows you after I had inventoried straight onto a Excel spreadsheet, and I got quite a bargain. As you can see, the second, third and fourth tiers are somewhat empty. It's not as full as you think it is, but I did get a bargain. What I have since done with my 2 grandsons is we have, because I've been in the threads of the month for Classic Colourworks, Gast, Gentle Arts and Weeks Dye Works, we've also put them into spreadsheets, and I am going to put them all on this stand. One of the sections will be for one of the specialty threads. I will slip the DMC off. We've worked out, because we did the inventory, we know there's 72 spokes on around each one of those rounds. I've divided it into the specialty threads so we know how many of each one to go onto the stand, and then I'll put the DMC in front because I use that the majority of the time. So it will have all my threads on it. I will show you when I'm finished. I only have to inventory, I believe, Silks for You. I've done all my others. I have got a lot of Stitches and Spice, which was an Australian designer, that a dyer that closed off many years ago, but I will just have to list their names because she just put them all on the web and you just said how many skeins you would like. So I haven't got an actual proper spreadsheet for that. So once it's done, it should be nicely full. I should only have to go to one area. It's on wheels. So if I want to do fabric, kitting up, I have them there. Mind you, I did have the lovely Kelly, Animal Stitches, say to me, what are the chances of you needing a thread and it's not there? And I said, 100%. It looks like a lot, but a lot of them don't have any on there. A lot of them have only got 1 and 2. I think there's one that's got 24, so he must have had a couple of boxes and he just kept pushing it on there. But that will be my thread stand. I used to look up here and talk about my thread stands. It is somewhat empty. It's only got the Silks for You, the Stitches and Spice, and some of that French ones that I just cannot pronounce. And once they're collated, they'll be all on that one stand, and I'll have it in this room somewhere, and I should be set for my retirement. I don't think I have got anything else, so I will call it off here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for those that return and watch me each month. It is very kind of you. I love the comments. I love having chats. It's like you've got some friends that you've never actually met. I have actually now met 2 of my subscribers. I didn't know beforehand. I met them at Stitching on the Border, and it was just lovely to put faces to names, and they were both lovely women, of course. I think only lovely women and men cross stitch. It was really, really enjoyable to meet them, and we're still chatting, which is really nice. So I wish you all in this southern hemisphere a mild winter, if you like a mild winter, and a lovely summer for those up north. I've only got a rug over my lap. I haven't got anything on my feet or a heater or anything, so we haven't got there yet. I can handle a fair bit with all my internal padding, fair bit of the cold, but we probably will get to the stage where I might have to have a heater on, or at least the heated blanket as I go. But have a lovely month, happy stitching, stay safe, and I'll see you shortly. Bye.